Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for the Euro GPP and the GPY price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna start with the Euro here against the USD, of course, to see what we might expect for the next week. Now we're gonna start, of course, to analyze the all-time history first, where we have three waves up for a wave A or a wave W, WX and a Y for a wave B or an X, and we see, of course, continuation impulsively potentially toward the upside as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave C over there. Another scenario is, of course, the W, the X, and the wave Y, where your wave Y can be, of course, a zigzag, can be a flat, can be even a triangle. You have several possibilities here for a wave Y. However, the highest possibility right now is, of course, the impulse, or at least a zigzag towards the upside unfolding, since we have a 1, 2, or an A, B, and a C. Currently, if you are in a wave C, you have finished already, of course, at the 1-to-1 fib level impulsively here for a wave C. However, this is still, of course, looking for a little bit higher to reach the $1.18 for the euro in case we are in a wave C. We're going to test, of course, this area if we overshoot it. Therefore, of course, the next target is the 1.618 at $1.29 for the euro again. If we dive deeper on the 4 hours chart here to see a little bit much more micro levels, we can see, of course, that currently we are in double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish, of course, wave 3 in the orange, a 4 and a 5 finished in the orange, finishing wave 1. And we were expecting last week, of course, a correction that it should be a little bit deeper here to reach at least, of course, the 0.38 fib level minimum requirement for a wave 2 in the orange. After having a wave 1 here, you're looking for 3 waves for a wave 2 and then continuation towards the upside. Currently, you have 3 waves, which is corrective already, giving the signal by taking this low again. And of course, taking the potential of a wave B. Don't forget that the wave B can be an aggressive one, even taking new highs here for a wave B as an expanding flat and then moving toward the downside for a wave C later on 0.38 fib level. In case we break it and we continue toward the upside, therefore, of course, something else is unfolding here, which might be even a bigger ending diagonal for those, of course, labels here that it might shift to this area. But of course, very, very early to talk about this scenario. Highest possibility right now is that we are in this wave B, can be expanding flat, can be finished over there and moving towards the downside. The target still, of course, basically this blue box as highest priority. Let's see the GBP USD, what is showing also on the daily first, or on the all-time history, I would say. So on the all-time history for the GBP here, against the USD, we see, of course, a potential wave 1 here. It can be an impulse in the beginning, but somehow directly invalidated, found a new psychology, but toward the downside, and it looks like 5 ways, of course, diagonal, which is very interesting what is going on the GBP. Now we see, of course, higher prices again, potentially. Hopefully that this is not the 1-2 here, because, of course, if this is a 1-2, that is not good at all for the sterling. And that means, of course, you might move back towards below the $1 for the sterling here. And yeah, but basically it can be another psychology found here. So as you can see, a lot of volatility on the all-time history for the GBP. And we see, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 towards the upside potentially unfolding, of course, unless this is a wave A or a W. And you're looking here for the 1-to-1 fib level, $1.52 correctively, which it might be your wave 2, and of course then moving toward the downside. So we have to be careful again with the GBP in this testing area. Of course, if we break this 1-to-1 fib level, okay, the next target is $1.75 for the GBP, and potentially only in a wave 3 and then 4 and a 5, which it of course can overshoot this target if we dive deeper as well. On the 4 hours chart for much more micro levels, we can see in this move towards the upside, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 finished wave 1, and you're looking for a wave 2 with a potential minimum target here first. This wave 2, where you might have double 1-2s, by the way, here, where you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, 2, and sorry, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and after 1, 2 over there. So we are testing, of course, this fib level in case we move down in 3 waves, a zigzag, and we see, of course, continuation toward the upside in confluence with the 1 to 1 fib level. We might see here a double 1 2s and a continuation toward the upside. Now, of course, there is a bigger scenario, which is of course a big wave 1 2. Don't forget that this also can be a 3 waves down, and having 3 waves up can be an expanding flat, again the same scenario as for the euro, and then taking those high and then moving aggressively toward the downside for the 0.38. So we have to be careful with it. I can see clearly, of course, on the 1 hour chart that this is an impulse unfolding here towards higher prices 1 2 3 4 5. So you might expect here a very aggressive zigzag ABC, at least, which it might be, of course, your target for wave B, and that's why it is there, guys. And of course, after this, you might see a very aggressive move again for an A, B, and a C, meaning like this, because wave B can be anywhere in this range. The wave B is the most risky and dangerous wave that you might have on the chart. And of course, if we break those fib level 1.38, overshooting it, that means, of course, you are simply bullish, continuation toward the upside, of course, in a 1 and then 2. Yeah, I would say here double 1 2 has succeeded, and then you move 3 4 5 4 5 towards the higher prices. Those will transform as well, of course, for several 1 2s here, where you have a wave 1 2, and the wave 3 is gonna transform to a wave 1 2 again, and bigger, of course, 1 2 here. So we're gonna see as well, don't forget that this can be in another scenario as a leading diagonal wave 1 again, and a bigger 1 2 as also another possibility here that you might see unfolding for the GBP USD. The final one we have here is, of course, the USD GPY, and we're gonna start also on the all-time history for the GPY. Here we can see, of course, the GPY is still suffering inside this triangle where we have already 3 waves down, 3 waves up. You might see, of course, as well 5 waves down towards the wave C here as an A, B, and a C. Now, before calling this wave C, of course, you need to finish the wave C of a wave B, because you are an A, B, and a C. Your wave C is an impulse toward the upside as a 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, and an E, and you're looking for higher prices. Right? So basically, it can be even a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. It can be that your wave 3 here, your wave 4 unfolding over there as a triangle A, B, C, D, and an E, and moving for a wave 5, of course, towards the upside. Now, the target for this wave 5 in a wave 3 might be, of course, given from the 1 here to the 3, and you might reach, of course, this blue box for the wave 3 in a wave C, in case the things continue after this triangle toward the upside, and then you start to see, of course, this wave C unfolding for lower prices for the USD against the GPY. Let's move inside it on the 4 hours chart to see clearer what's going on in this triangle. So inside this triangle, you are, of course, looking here at an A, B, C. The wave D might be finished very close to the 1 to 1 fib level. You have an expanding diagonal wave A, wave B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending diagonal as well for a wave C in a wave D. And you might see here a drop. Of course, this drop might be, of course, the start of another wave A, B, and a C for the wave E. And once you finish, of course, the wave E here, you might see, of course, a very massive move toward the upside for the USD against the GPY. Yep, that was it for Forex. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and trade safe. Bye-bye.